It's been a while since I made a video, but I've been addicted to Schedule 1. This game is addicting. Can't explain how good it is, but I don't know, it scratches an itch because I did not expect the mid-game to end-game to turn into a full-on manufacturing simulator. I'm gonna play a full 24-hour in-game cycle of a time-lapse of this whole operation while I yap in this new crystal. I think this is version 3 of my crystal farm. We'll call it crystal because I don't know how the censorship works. But this is capable of making at least 8 bricks a day. And I think after watching this and after letting it run for a few days, I can make it a little better and more efficient if we maximize the workers. I haven't moved on to Coca yet, but I don't think I'll tear this down even when I do eventually move on, because I've redone my barn like 3 times, 4 times if we're counting this video, and I think I'll just start fresh with the warehouse because I do want to keep a production plan for all types of product in preparation for future updates. My bungalow is a bud farm, the barn is and will stay as a crystal farm, and the warehouse will be where I start Coca. Little disclaimer for you, if this is the first time you're making an automated mixing plant, this is expensive and you won't be doing much of the work after the initial setup, but you will have to restock your shelves once every in-game day. So if that's something that you already don't like, then feel free to leave. Total materials you'll need, like bare minimum, are 16 mixing stations. I forgot to mention that we will be maximizing the assigned stations assigned or allowed for the chemists since the update. So we're gonna have 4 stations for each chemist, 16 mixing stations because we're gonna have 2 running in parallel like this. It's gonna be 2 parallel 8-step mixes simultaneously going as long as you stock your shelves and you pay your wages. V1 or V2, Mark 1 or Mark 2, it doesn't matter. I suggest using Mark 1 if you don't have a bunch already, but I'm using Mark 2 because I already had like 4 laying around in my world, and I wanted it to look uniform because it looks kind of ugly with like Mark 2, Mark 2, Mark 2, Mark 2, and then you suddenly like switch to Mark 1s. It's weird. So I just bought more Mark 2s. If you have the money, feel free to use whatever. I heard Mark 1 might be slightly better for the animation, but I'm not so sure. The production, it doesn't really make much of a difference because Mark 1, the only caveat to using a Mark 1 is like if you're mixing yourself, it's kind of more work to get the product and the mixers in, but since we're automating it, it doesn't matter. You can use Mark 1 if you want. It'll save you some money. Okay, so you want 16 mixing stations, you want 4 chemistry stations, and you want 4 ovens. 22 large shelves will be the minimum, like bare minimum, but I suggest you get more for extra storage because, just to avoid having to go take more trips to the gas stations or more deliveries, you can have them stocked up so that you can maybe keep it running for a few more days without having to order anything. You want 1 brick press. We're gonna use bricks because I don't like setting up packaging stations, and even if we did want to set up a packaging station, we can't automate it anymore because of the amount of actions required for all of this to keep going. And also bricks are just more efficient because you're gonna give these to your dealers and they'll be able to split it up for you. 10 beds for the workers plus 1 for yourself if you want to sleep here. And for the workers, we'll be using 4 handlers and 6 chemists. This will set you back $35,820 or $59,820 if you're using mixing station Mark 2s like me. I think you should just go for the Mark 1s. It's saving you more than $15,000. It's saving you around $15,000, and you'll be spending $2,600 daily to keep the whole operation running. For our product, I suggest you stock up on at least 200 Pseudo, 200 acid, and 200 phosphorus. That's $38,000 if we're using high quality Pseudo, which you should be. So that's the price I'm listing so that it'll be more realistic to, if you're using this factory as like an end game thing for your crystal farm, like how I plan to use it is gonna be crystal, coca in the barn, and bud in the bungalow. You want high quality products for all of your plants. Lastly, for the mixing ingredients, we're gonna go for the mix that my friend gave me. They use it for coca, but I'm gonna use it for crystal. They call it haram. It's horse milk, motor oil, cook, paracetamol, gasoline, cook again, megabean, and battery. This is one of the higher, I'm not sure if it's the highest still, but I think it is the highest mix available. Like at least 4 days ago it was. I don't know anymore with the newer updates, but this is gonna set you back $42 per unit. So it's gonna cost $42 for the mixers per unit and $19 raw for the crystals because it makes 10 per batch, around $61 to make, and you can sell this for $548 if you follow the 1.6 rule, which is you sell it for 1.6 times of the asking price. So you're making $487 profit per unit you sell, and that's pretty good. As I said, this factory, at least I've seen make 8, maybe 9 a day, 8 maybe 9 bricks a day. So if you multiply that, each brick is 20 units, right? So if you have 8 bricks, that's $77,000 per day of profit. So like once you get this running, it's gonna be really easy to just keep getting money. And that's kind of why I didn't make this video instantly, because I wanted to see if there would be some errors that pop up. Plus I wanted to make some extra money just in case I needed to spend more to get this going. It cost a little bit more than I thought, but yeah, my dealers make me $20,000 a day passively. You can sell more yourself, and then you can like haggle with, you know, the customers, so you can make even more than the 487. You could be making more if you have more dealers unlocked or more dealers available to you. I just don't have that right now. So the total costs $35,820 for your assets, $38,000 for your pseudo, and for the daily wages, at least for the first, like, let's say 5 days, $2,600 per day for, let's say 5 days, $13,000. This build will cost you, this is just the build, not the product, this will cost you $86,820 with the mixers and the product, probably around 100,000. If you don't want to invest that much, 100% understand. But again, this is making so much more product than you can even sell in a day. It's very worth it. And I think the benefits of this setup, because I've tried some other setups, I've never seen anyone do parallel like this though. The benefit of having a setup like this is that there's no real bottleneck other than the production or like the cooking of the stations. So even if you do forget about the restocking your shelves for the mixers, your chemist will still be cooking. So the next time you turn it on, the production will be even smoother when you do refill the shelves. And you could just like decide to not pay them if you want to stop producing, because you have like 500 bricks and you don't know what to do with them. You guys can't sell them fast enough. You can't even sell like 5 bricks a day in this game because there's a limit. The benefits is that you can turn it on and off at any time, and all of the materials don't really go to waste, because if you do decide to tear it down, you're going to be able to use mixing stations for other builds, the ovens for other builds. You could just transfer them to your other properties. I'm going to assume that you know how to hire workers. Before I tear this down, yeah, that's gonna be the only thing I probably don't show in this video. I'm gonna get the beds out, show you how to set them up and everything. I'm gonna tear this whole place down. We're gonna build it step by step. It's gonna be a long video. I don't care. I'm doing this because I like the game. So yeah, now that we have like what's basically an empty barn, don't mind the store, dude. I don't have enough storage. I have 2 Vipers and a car. So that's my bad, dude. We have too much. Don't mind these because this isn't part of the build. You don't have to care about those. But we're gonna go set this up in a slightly more efficient way than I had it set up before. Chemistry stations or shelves first? Might be shelves. I'm gonna start putting the shelves. Just pretend these aren't here. I'm sorry, man. But we're gonna move those, you know, we're gonna move those as soon as we can. For the required shelves, you'll need 8 for the these are gonna be for the mixers. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are 1 shelf for each ingredient, 1 shelf for each step in the mixing process. And then we'll do that same on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there we have 8 shelves, 1 for each, again 1 for each mixer. And then for each shelf, we're gonna add another large storage rack there. So you have the first block. Like imagine if this were a grid, you have the first block of the grid on the pillar. There and there. Same on the other side. There and there. Your handlers will still be able to reach these, no problem, so that's fine. And these are gonna be for, you know, all of our product later. We'll set those up later. Right now, let's do the shelves in the mixer and all of the mixing stations and stuff like that. Chemistry stations, we'll have 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and the last one here. And then just have the ovens close. They don't have to be in this exact, you know, orientation. This just looks cleaner, I think. So yeah, you put the ovens there and there. So that's the ovens and the stations. It's kind of weird. Let's do that. So we can have the pillar in between them. Yeah. Then line this up there. It just so it looks cleaner. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this as I make it, just to make it look nicer. But the aesthetics don't really matter. Let's do that. Yeah. So those are gonna be the 4 stations. You can have the shelf right beside the stations. I think you can guess why. But yeah, we'll have those set up like that. And actually, I'll move this here so that this is lined up. Yeah. There. Have the shelf lined up with the chemistry station. Like that. And then for the mixing station, sorry, not mixers. Leave a space in between because you could fit 2 like this. So the workers can walk in between these like that easily. And then just put all 8 of them. All 16 of them, sorry. Just leave 1 mixing station worth of space in between. There, and then we'll take this bed. Because, dude, I'm running out of storage. There you go. Those are going to be all the mixing stations, chemistry stations, and ovens. For the beds, we'll set upstairs. It was getting kind of hard to see, so let me just sleep, you know, so we can set it in the morning, and then you can see this better. My bad. We see dealers doing 23k. This is a good example, too. You know, all planned, all planned. So we're going to take our beds. Now for the bed setup, I just do 9 here and then the 10th downstairs. I'm not sure if you can set it up better. Let me know if you know what's set up. I'm not a puzzle guy, man. But there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this is wrong. There we go. So these are gonna be 9 beds. You could fit a storage here if you wanted to, actually. And then just have your 10th bed somewhere downstairs. Maybe here. Yeah. Okay, so those are the beds. Those are the mixing stations, ovens, and chemistry stations. Just so we can clear some of the clutter. Let me just set these up. This is how you want to stock your shelves. For the chemistry stations, by the way, you gotta have acid, phosphorus in any order, and then the 4 pseudo on this, because the handler who is going to be restocking your stations is going to be picking them up in order. So just stock it like that. Just follow this. So acid, phosphorus, pseudo. That applies for all of them. All of our 4 shelves here. Also, you guys, I'm shift clicking. If this is the first time you've seen it, probably not. Yeah, it's like Minecraft. Take these shelves off. Is what I mean. You should maybe get more shelves than I recommended for more storage. Take these out. Yeah, it looks way cleaner now. So once you have these stocked beside the chemistry stations, you don't gotta worry about that till later. We can have our brick press. I forgot this, my bad. Anywhere, honestly. I like to have them close to where the final output's gonna come out from. So this is gonna be the 8th step. Straight into the brick press. So it's gonna be here. Or here. That'd be cleaner. No, it's here. Here. And then we could just have a storage for the output. There. Yeah. Just extra shelves if you want to have extra storage. So that's gonna be all of the machines, I guess, is what we'll call them. Placed wherever you want to place them, kinda. Not really. You can kinda move this. This I think just looks the nicest or looks the cleanest. Now we're gonna get into the really annoying part of having to set up automation in this game. And I think it's pretty intuitive, but you know, it just takes time. And how I like to think about this before we go into setting up the workers is I like to think of it as quadrants. So this quadrant with this shelf includes this chemistry station, this oven, and these 4 mixing stations is one quadrant. So that's gonna be one station basically for your chemists and workers. Same with this, and this. They're kind of their own mini production chains that just connect to each other. And before we actually do the workers, we should set up all the destinations also, so this is something you don't forget to do later. Shift click all the chemistry stations and set the recipe, because this is something I forgot to do last night. I was so confused. Set the recipe to liquid. Yeah, the liquid. And for each of the stations, set them to the oven opposite, you know, just because after. What this does is like it makes it so that after it's done cooking, the chemist, whoever chemist is assigned to this station, whichever chemist is assigned to this station, takes the product and then cooks it here. So do that for all four. Destination, oven, just press escape after. Destination, oven, escape. And then for the ovens, you want to have these two on this side. Manage lab oven. Manage lab oven. Press E. Destination to the very first mixer in the chain. So as soon as it's done cooking, they crack it and then they bring it to the first station for this side. And then on the other side, just do the same. Sorry. Lab oven, manage 2 times, and then bring it to the first one on this side. There. And then for each of the mixing stations, press E, threshold, set it to 10, and then destination to the next one. Do this again and again. This is really the bulk of the work when you're setting these up. But yeah, you just gotta keep doing this. Escape, E, threshold 10, move on, escape, scroll away, E. There. So you see this goes to this, this goes to this, this goes to this, and so on. And then for the last one, 10, and then make the destination the brick press. Do this for both sides, obviously. Destination, brick press. And then for the brick press, set the destination to the shelf beside it. So this is where the bricks are gonna end up after, after everything's done. Now we're gonna set up the workers. So pick one worker for each quadrant. I'm gonna go with Nicole for the top left first. So we're gonna erase the roots. So you're gonna click new from, then make it so that she goes from here to the chemistry station beside it. Add new. First shelf to the first mixing station. Second shelf to the second mixing station. Third shelf here. Third mixing station. Fourth shelf here. The fourth mixing station. So this is Michelle's quadrant here. So this is what she handles. 5 actions per handler. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just realized if they make it so you can assign more actions per handler, this guide is gonna be omega obsolete. But for now, this is what works. And we're just gonna do that for each of the workers. So Maria is going to be assigned to the top right. Make it so she takes from the stocking here for the pseudo for the cooking. The chemistry station, same thing here. First shelf, first station. Second shelf, second station. Third shelf, third station, and fourth shelf, fourth station. That's it. That's it. We're gonna do the bottom left last because that's gonna be the same as our packing handler. So he's gonna be for the bottom right. This to this, this to the fifth, this to the sixth, this to the seventh, and lastly this to the 8th station. So I had to cough, sorry, I'm dying. Last worker, we will assign her to the bottom left quadrant. Here to here. 5th to the 5th, 6th to the 6th, there, and lastly 8th shelf to the 8th mixing station. And we're also going to assign her to this brick press. So after she's done stocking, if there's any product in the brick press, she's gonna be the one pressing it and bringing it to this shelf. That's gonna be it for the handlers. Don't forget to assign them beds, by the way. I'm gonna do that right now, yeah. Just assign them all beds. They don't start working until you start paying them, so it's fine to do this. Fourth handler. Yeah, for the chemists, since we're done with the handlers, you're gonna want to assign the first one here to 4 stations, and it's gonna be cooking, drying, the first mixing station, and the third mixing station for the first one. We want to do this to avoid any bugs, because one of the biggest problems I had with the last one that I made was like, if you had the same chemist do back-to-back mixing stations, it kind of staggers the production and it kind of bottlenecks it. So yeah, we're gonna do it like this time. Station, oven, first and third, like that. Then just press enter. Third chemist is gonna be for just the mixing stations this time. So you second and fourth. Sorry, I forgot how it is to talk while recording. It's just been so long. Go for the second, fourth, 6th, and 8th mixing stations. Another chemist is gonna be for the same on the other side. Second, 4th, 6th, and the 8th. There. So we have 1 chemist assigned, 2 chemists, 3 chemists, 4 chemists. 5 and 6 are gonna be for, again, cooking. So the first on this one and the third on this side. So the 5th and the 7th station. There. And lastly, we have this one for cooking, drying, this and this. And that's going to be all, every single mixing station, lab oven, chemistry station, and restocking setup. You just want to give them all beds. I'm not going to do them one by one. I'm just going to set them all up. I'm just going to speed it up for you guys because, you know, it's kind of annoying. We have one more bed. I kind of don't like the position of this one, so I'm going to move it. It doesn't matter where you place it. It's just, you know, it looks cleaner, I guess. Let's place it here. It's kind of out of place. It's fine. It is what it is. Just give us another bed slot. Or give us bunk beds. I'm down for bunk beds. Lastly, Tyler, if you're watching this, give us bunk beds. This guy here. So what I'm gonna do now is stock up the shelves for the mixers. So again, we're gonna do 8-step mix. You can do whatever you want, but again, we're gonna use a mix my friend gave me. It's horse semen, motor oil, cook, paracetamol, gasoline, cook, mega bean, and battery. I'm gonna stock every single one of these shelves, and then I can show you how to start it up. Before you start it up, I like stocking everything first before 4 a.m. so that when you wake up the next day, they all start working at the same time. It just makes it go. It looks so nice. You're gonna see later, but it just looks really nice when they all start working. So I'm gonna stock the shelves. Deliveries here.
5 hours later.
I'm like almost done stacking my shelves, but we're gonna make the last few trips here. I did put some extra storage just so, you know, I can start using my vans again. I've been making this trip, like, I didn't record, but I made the trip with a skateboard like 6 times. to the gas station. I'm not trying to do that again. So just so you see the extra storage I added, they're just here. You could place way more, but I just like having it look cleaner. I don't fill it with storage racks, but you can if you want to. You can take everything, have this, and you go like 2 or 3 more times, and we should have the whole thing filled. I'm telling you, this is the only thing you have to do daily after setting this up initially. So yeah, it's kind of annoying, but also like, I mean, at least you're not manually mixing, right? Manually mixing, manually cooking, especially manually cooking, it takes so long. Nice. And also it's kind of fun to watch sometimes. This game, when you get the late game, is really just bug fixing. Like when you start to see errors in some of the workers, or like if you see something that's like kind of taking too long and you think you can optimize it better, then that's like, I think that's where the fun of the game is. At the end, you can also just do deliveries. It just takes, you know, you have to wait for the deliveries to arrive. So normally I would just start ordering deliveries at the start of every day, just so you can fully stock. So yeah, we have their full shelves for the batteries up to the gasoline. Each storage rack can hold 8 stacks, so 160 of each mixer. I still need paracetamol. I'll be back when they're stocked. I think we're done setting up, dude. Now that we have every single shelf fully stocked, what you want to do before paying them and then finally resetting for the day is you kind of want to jump. You can jumpstart it by doing the initial stocking of the chemistry stations, so that your handlers don't have to fill them up before your chemists can do the very first run. Put them in the order that you set them up in the shelves. So remember, the shelves beside each chemistry station has them set up like acid, phosphorus, and then the pseudo. So just set it up like that. It doesn't matter if you set it up like this or not, it just looks neat. They can be in any order. You know, just set them up. Have them like that. Set it up. Every single shelf in this whole barn is fully stocked. Everything has routes set up. So every single step of the process is, you know, you can see it with the lines here. And the last thing you have to do is just pay your employees. I just leave 4,000 each, just so I can, you know, I don't have to think about it. They'll always have wages every day, and then all I have to do is restock the shelves. And then as soon as I finish with these last two, I think I'm done. Yeah, so all we have to do now is sleep. All you gotta do is sleep, watch, and restock the shelves. You're good for 160 units of crystal. So I think 16 bars with this initial stocking, and you can sell that for, I don't know how much, man. 16 times 20 times, I think we can make 480 each. That's 153,000 just for the first cycle of this entire thing. Without restocking, you'll be able to sell it for $157,000 total. So it already pays for itself. The first time, you just have to sell it, you know, manually if you don't have... The dealers can't do it all. So you do have to sell manually. And where's the bed there? I'm gonna sleep, and then we're gonna watch it run through. And you'll see. You'll see. This looks crazy once it's all like set up. There we go. Now we just watch. Might get a little laggy. It does get laggy sometimes. It's just there's so much happening, even without trash on the floor. But see, look, the handlers are starting to restock the shelves, the mixers, taking from the shelves, putting it onto the mixers. Like we set them up like in quadrants, so they're really close to the mixers and the chemistry stations, so they won't really, you know, it doesn't take a lot of time for them to restock. This looks really sick. They're synchronized. Boom, so you can see the cooking process. When they all walk out, you know, I'm gonna time skip. Obviously, I'm not gonna sit here for 8 in-game hours. I mean, I am gonna sit here for, say, you guys aren't gonna see the whole 8 in-game hours, of course. But I just want to check if everything's correct. They should have -1 here. Yup. 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 And these should be fully stocked. Fully stocked. Here, setting up the mixing stations. There you go. Boom. Each station has 20 of each, as long as you have the shelf stocked. And as soon as they walk out, boom. I can show you guys what happens, because basically happens here is it cooks, they bring it here, and then this takes a couple hours too, so then they're gonna crack it and then bring it there. But I do have extra crystal, extra raw crystal, so I can show you what happens if you just place them in the first mixer. It's also just to troubleshoot if anything's wrong with the roots. I don't think anything's wrong. They're all working. But we can do this and this. The chemist we're gonna walk in and do that for us. Oh, again, obviously, if this is the first time you're doing the mix, I forgot to mention, if this is the first time you're doing this specific mix, if you're copying the exact same mix, because it is like I think one of the highest profit ones, if not the highest profit one, then you want to at least go through the mix yourself manually, so you can discover the product and name it, all that. Let's see, they're gonna do this mixing, and then it takes an hour of in-game time each. The handlers will go in to restock the first mixers, and then as soon as this finishes, the chemists who started this mix will bring it here, and then a different set of chemists will go and start this mix. I think I also have like 4 uncooked thingies, but like this is gonna cycle through anyway, so let's just wait. So the only thing I did so far to jumpstart, the demonstration, is to put the raw meth in the first mixer, so they're gonna come back in. Oh, and also this isn't limited to crystal. If you guys wanna like mix anything else, feel free while these are cooking. If this is your first time, just make sure to take the product out, because it gets kind of buggy even if they're like 2 of the same product but different qualities, because obviously you can't have the high quality stuff mixed with the lower quality stuff. They don't stack. So just make sure you take out everything from the old mix if you're doing a different, like if you're doing like bud into crystal into coca maybe. Just make sure to take it out. This is also a problem I started to notice. Like some of them take from the outside and then walk back inside, which it kind of makes it less efficient. But also these take an hour of in-game time to cook, to mix. So it doesn't really matter. They get back. I don't know how to fix this. If anyone knows, please let me know. Just let me know in the comments if anyone's actually watching this video. Because like she took the mixer from outside and went all the way back in. Maybe if you position this closer to the middle, then she'll decide to walk in, but I don't know. This is slightly slower than them starting the next mixer themselves, but also at least it makes it more consistent. Because I feel like my very first barn setup, they were kinda throwing the mixers away, I think. Or throwing the product away, even worse. But at least this one kinda resets. As soon as they do their one task, they go back outside and then do the next one. So they don't do like one big continuous task. I think it helps with the bugs. I'm not so sure, but it feels like it's working better. They're gonna start the next one and then bring the liquid to the ovens and then start cooking. Okay, now we have to wait 6 more hours. I'm gonna place these extra ones here. So just imagine I turned it off for like a day. And then there's like an extra liquid for the chemists to use. And for our mixing, looks like we're on the 7th. No. 5th step. I ran out of space to record. Yeah, I've been recording for like a couple hours, man. we're on the 5th step. Maybe I should stop recording and skip to the 8th step, but just so you see. It goes really fast. Once it gets going, you're gonna be running back and forth to the gas markets. What I would do though for the first day, if you're setting this up for the first time, is to sleep, honestly, because like it speeds up the cooking process or the drying process for the ovens. And yeah, you can speed through it way faster. You can speed through the slow part of starting up the factory by doing that. It's been so long since I've recorded anything, and honestly, before Schedule 1, I thought I was kind of done with like newer games, because I haven't been playing any newer games, new releases, nothing like that. But this game got me hooked like crazy. I think the first 3 days I played it, I had 60 hours. It's like, I don't sleep with this game, man. And I'm really hyped for the next updates. Like, it looks like the Tyler, the creator, is like cooking. It's been cooking. And for someone who's like a solo dev, it's pretty insane that he's still pumping out updates consistently, like at least weekly right now. Because like, honestly, you could just be chilling. Like he got the money from the game blowing up. This game's huge. It has like less than CS:GO and Dota, I think, but has a lot of concurrent players, which is wild for a solo dev. And it's pretty cool that he's still pumping out updates. Because I think right now the game's a solid like at least 20 hours of gameplay. I'm not even done. Like I have 4 dealers. Benji, Brad, Jane, Molly are my only dealers. There's like 2 more, I think. Plus we have so much stuff that's like not out yet. Like the raids or something I'm hyped for. They said that they're gonna have merchants or like NPCs that drop by and ask for specific product. That's why I want to keep a crystal farm, a bud farm, and a coca farm as soon as I do get coca, just in case that happens in the future, so I have any other products ready. I have a bungalow set up. It's a 3-step bud farm, but I moved on to crystal before I did 8-step bud, just because the profits on this are crazier. Same goes for coca. As soon as like I get coca started, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be my main product. It's just this is where I am right now. And this is 40 seconds from cooking. Should be on the 8th step. Sorry for yapping, it's just there's nothing much to do after setting up. You just have to wait. Boom, we're gonna have our last minute. On the 8th step. The ovens are done? Yep, ovens are done. So remember, these guys are specifically just assigned to mixing, and the chemists for the ovens are these 2. So that's what I mean by like the tasks reset, so they don't end up doing like 1 billion tasks back to back. Workers need rest to, just assign them a few stations that don't directly interact with each other. And I think it should be pretty smooth. So these guys are bringing the freshly cracked product here to the first mixing station. These guys won't be able to, so it's going to be a bottleneck until this finishes mixing. But after that, it's going to be pretty smooth. And you'll also notice what I've been saying this whole video. Your mixer shelves are gonna go they're gonna go away real fast, man. The chemists already pulled it out of the mixing station and put it into the brick press, and then our worker assigned to this quadrant is gonna start pressing them into our bricks. Boom. Bang. You're gonna take the bricks and place it wherever you assign the storage, which is here. And that's 20,000 right there. Just take this, give it to your dealers, and they'll sell it for you. If you guys didn't know, dealers also sell for your listing price, so make sure to list them for the asking price times 1.6. It's gonna be like the max haggling price usually. You can squeeze like maybe $30 for the richer customers, but that's what they're willing to pay. That's what you should sell them for, and that's what your customers will happily buy them for. So I'm not gonna run through more cycles. This takes too long. I'm running out of storage. But I hope this video was useful for those of you guys like you're gonna make your money back in a couple in-game days selling this. And if you do run out of mixers and you have to stop production because you don't have the money anymore, because you have like 100k, you had 120k before this video, and now you're broke. You have to sell. It's fine. You can come back, refill, pay the wages, and then it'll just continue where it left off. It's no problem. You don't even want to run this continuously anyway, because this is making more product than you ever need in this game. This is just, I like seeing like a bajillion. I have like this from my first run of this, my first test of this whole setup. My dealers have like 2 blocks each. So much, they have so much. And I still have like a bunch here. So there's more product than you'll ever need. You probably realistically have to run this for 2 days, and then you're good for a whole in-game month. And it pays for itself. So yeah, I think it's a very, very worthwhile investment. I don't know how long this video is gonna be. It's gonna be like an hour or something. But yeah, first Schedule 1 video. I don't know if it's gonna be the last. Probably not, because I like this game a lot. When updates come out, I'm gonna post. But I will just start posting whatever I like on this channel. So feel free to unsub if you were subbed just for the older stuff. It's been like a year. I just haven't been active. It is what it is. This is a fun game. Try this setup. If there are any problems, let me know. Adios. Thanks for watching.